Welcome back everybody to another video on the channel. Today we are going to be learning from my own mistakes, which is something I don't do enough. Today we're going to be doing a VOD review. Now this is going to be me breaking down every little thing about my gameplay. As you can see, this is just a video in the background, hence why it's paused. Your computer didn't just freeze, I swear. So we're going to go over this little VOD review here, and I'm going to critique every little mistake that I see. If you guys see something that I don't point out, please do let me know down in the comment section. I know I'm not a perfect player, I'm nowhere close, but I want to get better, and this is the best way to do it. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So I'm starting from this off angle, or trying to, and then I lag off because my internet's been kind of shitty lately. So that's one area of improvement to start with. But we're going to be focusing more on my actual mechanics and gameplay decisions. So I do know my gameplay decisions are not perfect. That is one of my downfalls for sure, but my biggest one is probably my aim. I am almost always aiming for body shots, like right here, where on Earth is my crosshair. It should be much higher. And even though I just saw both of them on the minimap, I'm not paying enough attention. I'm focused on my crosshair, and I wasn't paying attention to the fact that they are both on site. Although I did just pay attention to the fact that Brimstone was just right down here. So I'm kind of keeping an eye out, but trying to keep my cover. I don't want him to know where I am before I know where he is, so I'm just kind of trying to look around. This bottom, it's a pretty easy kill from that point forward. Moving into the second round, unfortunately my chamber is going for a full buy, and I believe my Brim follows suit. Yeah, he has the Vandal. So this is by no means ideal. Third round should always be your bonus round. In this case, if Chamber or Brim die, they give the enemy very, very high value weapons for free. So in this case, either they play incredibly safe or they don't make the buy at all. Realistically speaking, they shouldn't make the buy. But we'll see how this one goes. No one else on A so far, but we also don't have any sights on B. That's one pick on A. My team's rotating a little heavily, but then they start moving back, thinking they could still be on A. And I believe this is where the call comes in that there's someone on A, on B side for sure. No one's left A. There could be someone mid, which I just learned there is due to that Jet. Now I did get the headshot off on her, but of course it's a Spectre, so not exactly the most reliable headshot. Now I'm thinking she's going to be kitchen, but then my Reyna clears it and clears tunnels. Now I'm kind of confused. What I should have done is acknowledge that she's still in that little nook there, because that is actually where she ends up being. The Reyna makes her way down tube and just gets picked off by the Jet waiting for her. So I should have made a move there. I should have been able to catch out the Jet. I should have been able to realize where she was. There was only so many places she could have been, and we cleared out most of them. So now I'm trying to push onto site. I managed to get the Jet that I dinked earlier. Luckily got some redemption, and now I know my team's watching for me, so I'm going to try and get Spike. Got it up to half before Breach started to use his little concussion. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish off. My team can definitely take care of him if he peeks. And in that case, the important part was just focusing on the objective, especially since I knew both my allies had like significantly better guns. Both had full buy. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is take my full buy gun. I'm choosing between the Phantom and the Vandal. I said that completely wrong. I used the wrong beginning sounds, but that's fine. The Phantom or the Vandal, not the Phantom or the Vandal. And I'm going to go back up to my spot simply because I have not been spotted here yet. No one's actually pushed out of this point of A site, so I know I'm safe to do so, or to stay here. Now, if I had been seen here before and had gotten a kill in a past round from here, I would not be holding this position right now. That is way too dangerous. You don't want to hold the same off angle multiple times in a row. Even as Jet, with your getaway and everything, you want to make sure you're careful. You'll also notice that as soon as my dash was running out of time, I used it and got out of there instead of staying on my position, because I knew my getaway was no longer viable. And there's no point staying in an off angle where you're easy to get killed out in the open without having that dash up. So now I'm just trying to hold some popular angles. My whole team has rotated off of A site, even though they are still here. I have sights on at least 2 of them. Sova gets 1, which is great. I'm really struggling to get a shot off on this breach, but that's just my skill gap for sure. And I push out way too far here. That was a death sentence. If I was going to push out that far, I should have dropped down and used the box of cover, because there's no way of getting out of that without getting 2 kills and getting my dash back. So realistically, that was a really bad mistake on my part. In fact, let's go back. So you see my dash is on cooldown. Well, not even on cooldown necessarily. I have to get 2 kills to be able to use it again. And I know that, realistically speaking, I'm only going to get 1 before I need to get out. And in this case, the breach managed to get me with his concussion. Whereas if I was on low ground here, could have dropped down into the smoke, used it as cover to get behind dice, or this box here, and use that as cover, so that when I got concussed, it wouldn't have been a problem. Alright, into the next round. We just got intel that they're going up tube into kitchen. So I come this way. I'm using knives. It's an econ round. I unfortunately only got the 2 body shots off on Brimstone. And I always get confused with the Breach and Brimstone models. So when Breach peaked, I thought I'd be able to take him because I just did damage. Unfortunately, well, first of all, I didn't hit my shot. And second, it was actually the full health Breach that peaked me. So that was a mistake on my part. What I should have done there is I should have either come down around the side and peeked at a weird angle, or I should have just absolutely rushed and be ready. Right when I see his gun there, I should have been ready to shoot. But I was way delayed on that, so that was my bad. And then we go to lose this round, unfortunately. Going into round 6, now I am still yet to be seen at this part of the site, holding this off angle. So I'm going to go here again. Might as well. It's a save round. There's not a whole lot to lose. In this case, we're just going to try and get as many kills as we can, and the best way to do that is to kind of play cheeky. I unfortunately missed my shot on the fade, and I forgot that I can glide to the ground, so I just absolutely fell with that Breach ultimate. So that was a pretty big mistake on my part. I should have remembered about the flight mechanic. I also should have hit those shots. Kind of failing myself here a little bit, just by absolutely whiffing everything. But at the very least, our chamber got a gun upgrade. I would love for him to try and save it here, but he goes for the clutch and instead gets taken out. Alright, just got intel that one's up mid. So I'm going to sit here and hold bottom of tube and hope that either Chambers trap, which just got triggered, covers kitchen. And now they're all going to rotate back there, so I choose to go this other route and make sure that this side doesn't let anyone through. I considered taking an off angle there, but then I heard the Brimstone coming around behind, so I turned around and took him out instead. That off angle would have been nice because people don't expect you to be completely out in the open there, and I would have been able to get back to safety. In this case, I just didn't check my corner. That was absolutely awful. And then Sova expects them to be somewhere they aren't. So an unfortunate loss, mainly due to the fact that I didn't check my corner. Alright, I'm going to show you guys an example of a gunfight I should have lost. I did everything wrong here. So, for starters, I am peeking an angle A, holding shift, which is a big no-no. If you've seen my peeking guide, you know you can take about 2 steps before actually making a sound. And secondly, I am holding W and my strafe key to turn this corner. Terrible idea, because what I'm doing is I am heading partially towards the enemy and partially, parallel to the enemy. They are still going to see me, in their perspective, walking slower than if I just went straight parallel from where the angle is. Because with that forward component, I'm using less of my movement to go sideways and more of my movement to go towards them. So that movement towards them just makes me an easy target. And the second issue I make is I ADS, and then I whiff all my shots. If I didn't ADS, this probably would have been a much easier gunfight. I'm also aiming at the body, because I'm an absolute noob, and my dash just ran out, so I can't use that to get out. This is just terrible on my part. I shouldn't have taken this peek to begin with, and I went about it all wrong. Luckily, I get the kill anyway, but I should never repeat that in the future. That was just abysmal. New defensive position here, and I get a kill simply because Fade's just not paying attention. She's walking with knife out. This is further to my point that I made in a previous video of never, ever take space if you have your gun out. It's just a terrible idea. Or if you don't have your gun out, jeez. Words are hard. Never take space with knife, basically. If you aren't certain that no enemy can kill you from where you're running into, then you don't run with a knife. Alright, let's watch the beginning of this round here. I'd skip a few rounds if nothing really interesting happens, or if I just die to really obvious stuff. So now I'm running with knives out, because it's going to be an econ round for me. Managed to get 2, even with all the knives I whiffed. I really shouldn't have had that, but managed to get a few kills and get a free gun out of it, which is fantastic. Managed to even get the operator for chamber. I apologize, by the way, for the lack of audio in the background. I want to respect the privacy of those in-game with me who were using voice chat. So just in order to respect that privacy, I'm not putting any of the game audio into this. Alright, going into this next round here, managed to get a assist on that jet. I'm not sure if you caught that, but if you need to, you can rewind. It wasn't very important. I just got a little bit of damage off as she dashed. Moving over here, I whiffed so many shots. Used like half a mag on Phoenix, but I managed to get him before he can get me. And then I back up here to play with my team, play around the spike. I don't want to push too far forward because that'll be a death sentence, and I don't want to give the enemies a chance back into the round. Especially as they could very well be playing with pistols here, and I don't want to give them the Spectre. So I'm playing a lot safer. And then we know that there's only one left. We know exactly where he is, and I wanted to peek with my Brimstone, which managed to work out pretty well because I got the assist, he got the kill. There wasn't even a trade involved, but if one of us died, the other one would have surely gotten the kill anyway, even despite my terrible aim. Now moving into this next round, we're up 18-6 on my KD ratio, and we're 9-5 in rounds 1 for our team here. So we're doing quite solid right now. Alright, so on this push, I wait for my Reyna to be ready to push in. Again, I am in voice comms with my Reyna, so I know when she's going to do it. And now, as soon as she tells me that she's going to swing, I turn the corner, I help her get the fade. Even though she missed a couple shots there, we still managed to get the kill, and we didn't even have to trade for it. She just took a little bit of damage. Now, moving forward here, I'm taking the high ground because it's a nice defendable position. I spray into the smoke a little bit, and Broomy gets taken care of, who was the guy I was shooting anyway. And then Breach jumps down. It should have been an easy kill, but I let myself get one-tapped. Well, quote-unquote one-tapped. He just hit me in the head for one of his many shots that he sprayed into me. Now, unfortunately, my chamber decides to take a bad position with the op, and we lose the round, but realistically speaking, I shouldn't have lost my fight against that Breach. We could have won that pretty easily. I had the advantage just based off of knowing where he was before he knew where I was, so that should have gone in our favor, but I whiffed that one. Alright, playing the same kind of strat here, swinging off of my Reyna. She used the Leer, managed to get the kill on the fade really easily. That was really good on her part. And then pushing up here, we know exactly where one of them is. And I knew he was walking right into the Brimstone Molly, that's why I didn't go after him or anything like that. I just wanted to keep my advantageous position, and it allowed me to get the next kill, so that was really helpful. Now we're in a 2v2 scenario with me and Chamber. I know my Chamber is holding a very long angle, so realistically I shouldn't be taking this, but I won nonetheless. Got the, what's it called? Wallbang off of Jet there, and then I push forward and just get the next guy there. I should have played off a spike and waited for my Chamber to either move up or played in a position where he could help me out, but instead I just tried to 1v2. Really, really bad choice on my part. 9 times out of 10 I lose that. In that case, I happen to win. Alright, playing very much the same strategy again. This time I take out the Fade ability first. Let my Reyna swing in, and then we manage to get the Fade together. Yet again, playing off of each other. Really good way to play entry with another person as long as you are having good communication. At that point, I just lagged a little bit there. Kind of jumped forward where I didn't want to be. So instead I just got out of there. I knew with that little lag spike there's a chance of more coming, so I wanted to back out. And now I'm just waiting for this door. I know that my Reyna is holding the other door, and I can get a pretty easy kill here, especially since I watched my Sova have the interaction with Phoenix, so I knew exactly where he was. And then Reyna takes out the Jet. Super easy round win there for us. We have a really strong A-side push with always double swinging out onto points, so realistically speaking, if you can, it's always good to swing out with people, especially on that site there. It's not a lot of places where they have multiple people holding one angle, so it's pretty straightforward. As long as you use at least a little bit of util, it's pretty easy to push through without getting shot by multiple people. Alright, so on this round, I'll back up a little further. On this round, I try to take high ground as soon as I see that no one's holding that yellow box area. And then I should have gotten that kill on the Jet, but she managed to dash out in time. And then I see the Fade ult going through, and I know that I can just back up because I looked at minimap. And I just managed to dodge it, so that's really important. Whenever you can, try to dodge that Fade ult. It was in a pretty easy spot for me to just get out of the way. Much like this Burmy ult was really easy for me to get out of the way as well. It's one reason I really like playing on top of this box. There's a lot of places to go, a lot of places to escape to. And then we managed to drop down, get that Jet, and I believe... Did we learn that the last one was behind us? Yes, we did, because the chamber tripwire just went off. So I knew that Phoenix was going to be back here. So I just kind of wait, let my Reyna plant. I try to hold this angle here. I should have played a little bit more to the side, and then he came through mid. Obviously, when he saw the camera, he backed up, and then I hug the wall here, and unfortunately lose the gunfight. I should have had that. Alright, this round here has a very important piece of decision making that I want you to all take away. First of all, whiffing shots is a decision, I swear. And then I get flashed, but I managed to back out. Now here, as soon as I see that there's an op sitting in Snowman, we are already making the call to switch sites, because we don't want to push, especially with fairly limited smokes. We have Brim, but he already used a smoke there, and he already moved over to the other site. So realistically, the best course of action is just to switch sites. I'm trying to kind of rat a little bit, lurk, especially because most of them will be rotating from B side. I want to try and catch someone off guard if possible, which I think I managed to do around this corner. Yeah, I just see Fade run in. I handed that intel off to my team. Managed to get the Jet here, who was trying to op. Then I get wrecked by the Phoenix. Really unlucky. Well, not unlucky. I shouldn't have pushed up that way. I should have gone around stairs. That would have been a lot smarter of me. Alright, this is a save round going on to A side. I didn't take out the Fade Squid because I had knives out. Now I do know that Fade is playing right underneath me here, so I'm trying to kind of catch her out, which I managed to do so. Pretty easy kill. I used too many knives there, though. I shouldn't have thrown that many. And now I am just trying to figure out the best place to hold, because Spike did get dropped over on Tube. So I want to make sure I play from an angle that... sorry, I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to try and play from an angle that could be held by one of the enemies here. And we know that Breach just got killed up in going towards Tube. In that area there. So my best assumption is either someone was late to rotate. In this case, Phoenix is the only person left. So my assumption is either someone's late to rotate and hasn't actually gotten over there yet, or since they didn't double peek at the same time, obviously the Phoenix isn't going to that spot, or they're just dumb and didn't peek together. But realistically, Phoenix is either going to be getting there late or holding from another side. So in this case, I use the information that I could be getting there late, and I swing around the staircase here, and manage to get the one tap with my knives. It was pretty clean. And now we get the victory out of that. So that's a little bit of a VOD review on my own gameplay there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you have any critiques for me, I would love to hear it down below. And if you'd like to see more of this, let me know. I want to improve, and this is one of the best ways to do so, is by reviewing my own... Wow. My own gameplay here. So if you like it, let me know. Without further ado, have a lovely rest of your day, evening, morning, afternoon, and night. Bye-bye.